Went to the ASPA award ceremony. This would have been 2008.
In March.
Take me back to that award ceremony.
Wow. So we had done all the sessions, and I love the sessions that we did. It was something new to me because this was my first ASPA conference in Tuscaloosa. We did one in Huntsville, and that was pretty cool. But this one in Tuscaloosa, this is like the main place for these conferences. This is where everything is, and this is at the time it was potentially one of the schools I was considering going to. So with that, I loved the sessions, got to meet different people from different schools, and just to interact with my own group a little bit more. And at the ceremony, at the award ceremony, we were just all just waiting patiently and kind of anxiously on, who Bill Keller was going to say was the Journalist of the Year and the start of the awards, and when he was saying the speech and when he was dwindling down to say, and the winner is, my head was down. I was sitting right next to one of my best friends, Miranda Dollarhide, who's now the editor at the Auburn Plainsman. We were just, I just had my head down. And when he said my name, I just looked up, and I didn't react too quickly, but I just stood up very slowly, and I was on the end, so I had to walk through a lot of people to get there, and then I had to walk down the steps and got it and shake Bill Keller's hand, and my advisors was just going crazy, just going nuts, bananas, and afterwards we just embraced, and I gave the Stevensons an embrace as well, and told them thank you for their award and for what their son did. And but that was one of the most amazing times in my life. So I really enjoyed that.
But that was 2008. It's 2011.
Right.
You graduated from Sparkman. You've gone on to the University of Alabama. When you got to the University of Alabama, what were you trying to accomplish there? Of course, get a college degree, but there were some other things in mind too, right?
Right. Well, my first thing was I got the ASPA Award, Journalist of the Year, J.B. Stevenson Award, as well as the Rick Bragg Feature Writing Award that year. So it was kind of back to back, and I knew, they treated me well there, and they wanted me there. That's another thing that drew me in. They wanted me there to participate in their department and things like that. So when I got there, I was really just set on becoming a contributor at the CW. I met with Mr. Knight at OSM a few days when I was in Bama Bound, and I had been accepted into the Multicultural Journalism Workshop, and so I was just really set on getting together my journalism things, and I wanted to get off to a good start there and keep at that same pace that I was in high school and keep that going. But also I wanted to try to get on the track team. Coming out of high school, I had 2 state championships under my belt in discus and shot put for 6A. I went to one of the Alabama relays that year, and I just saw the girls throwing out there in the ring, and I was in the stands and just hoping to see myself there one day. And I just went up to, or I emailed Coach Fowler. I signed the questionnaire, the athletic questionnaire. Sent her a few emails, and we met together, and she told me the walk-on process at Alabama, and I just followed through with that. And I got on the team as well as contributed that same year, that freshman year.
What's more important to you, your athletics or your journalism? How do you prioritize?
It's hard to prioritize when track takes up 20 hours of my week each week, and most of the time I'm there more than 20 hours at the Coliseum. But it is time consuming. But I do think that my journalism career has more priority over my track career. It's just it just takes time, and a good time management. So it's kind of hard to contribute, during the year with the season going on. But I try to contribute to the Center for Community-Based Partnerships, or for the Center for Community-Based Partnerships. I try to contribute there quite a bit each year with Dr. Mullins. And I just try to read up on all things journalistic, and as well as follow the CW, which is doing excellent work right now and has been since I was there. So I just try to keep up and see how journalism fits into the sports world and how athletes are covered, and I get to see I get to live both of those lives, the athlete and then the media professional who's wanting to get those quotes from the athlete. I know that both of those mindsets. I know both of those narratives, so it's kind of a dual blessing to be a track athlete or an athlete in general, and then to be a media professional who covers that athlete. So I get a better understanding, I guess, of what they go through.
What are your observations about that media and athletic connection? Do you think the media are doing a fair job, or maybe not so fair job? What's your general impression?
Since I'm on the track team, we, of course, our sports information director comes out and does his job of, kind of documenting what we're doing. But I've seen, in coverage of Alabama athletics, there's a lot of attention on football, softball, gymnastics, and mainly that's because they're doing well, and they want to put that in the paper, and they have star athletes that they have to report about, not necessarily because they want to, but because their audience wants it. So there's still stories out there of those students or those student athletes who are on those teams. There's a lot of great stories all around in athletics, not just the ones that quote unquote are doing well or are bringing in money for the university or things like that. But I've seen those sports get prioritized above others, and it's not necessarily bad, but I mean there's some change that could happen. So
change in terms of
the way they report, what they report on. I see a lot of reporting on kind of male-dominated sports. Not to say that they don't report on women's sports, but I see kind of it's not equal coverage, I don't think. But when those things arise, or if that's brought to their attention, they might not even know because they're reporting so much and going everywhere. But just sometimes that needs to be addressed, and I think they're doing a good job of covering Alabama athletics as a whole. But there's things that could happen. I think maybe I'm biased, but because I'm a track star or track student or track member, but I think there could be some changes that could happen, and maybe I'm the one to do it. Maybe our generation is the one to step up and make those changes and to report more balanced and more well balanced.
You've finished your third year at the university. You've also been involved in some student organizations related to media and journalism. Talk about that.
Well, I am now the vice president of the Capstone Association of Black Journalists, CABJ. And this year, what we want to do is just get everybody together and in the college. And I feel like there's kind of a disconnect, or there's not a sense of community with the CIS, and I just want to get everybody together and just to put our heads together, and or just even fellowship with each other and get our ideas on what's happening in the world and what are our plans to change it, and what are our goals for each other. Maybe we can help each other out. But I've been involved in FCA, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, as well as SAC, the Student Advisory Athletic Committee. I've really enjoyed being in those organizations, as well as just being on the track. These 3 years, I was a walk-on, and now I am a student athlete who gets paid. So, but I still consider myself a walk-on, even though I'm a paid athlete. But there's something about walk-on. So I root them on, and I came in, not even what she wanted, or what was the minimum, and now I'm second on the all-time list for Alabama in the weight throw, and ranked in the top 20 in the nation for that, as well as hammer throw. I'm on number 7 on the list in Alabama history. So, and I've been named SEC Field Athlete of the Week before, and all these accolades have come my way. So I'm truly blessed to be in these organizations and to be able to communicate with students and be able to fellowship and form friendships with all these students that I've interacted with.
In the summer of 2011, you are interning at the Huntsville